Aloha and shalom. We're here for the new moon activation, and it's been a minute because last month, now I'm only doing the monthly, but last month I did not go live, so I missed you guys. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start setting up here while you guys tune in. It's my little treasure chest. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back. For those of you who are here for the first time to the activation portal, welcome. I have been going live only once a month now. We used to do once a week, but in between I have been sharing some little messages here and there. So always check back for the 4 parts of the moon cycle. I have been sharing sometimes for the first quarter, sometimes for the final quarter. And I usually do have a little message, at least for the full moon. So always check back. Give my page a follow. I'm also on Instagram and YouTube, Rebecca Magic. Same spelling as here, Magic with a CK. So when we're done going live here, the recording will be posted here, of course, and it'll also be shared on YouTube and Instagram, Rebecca Magic. So if you're wanting to share this activation with a friend or family member who's not in Facebook world, you can definitely do so on Instagram or YouTube. Just give it a few minutes afterward for the upload to happen. And on that note of sharing, feel free to share this video now while we're live with family or friends, or maybe someone who's been down and could use an uplifting message right now, or a message of inspiration. Maybe you have a friend who's needing some clarity right now. That's what these activations are for. So if you want to get them in the portal now while we're live, go ahead. Maybe you have a favorite group on Facebook. Go ahead and share, or feel free to wait till the end to share the recording. Hey, New Zealand in the house. Let me know in the comments where in the world you're tuning in from. I'm tuning in from Sedona, Arizona. And it's so beautiful. It's been cooler weather. I'm loving the winter weather. It snowed the other day. We like to call it Snowdona here. And for those of you who are new here, the new moon activation is a message that is centered around a new beginning. New moons are new beginnings. You know, the sky is dark. It's like a fresh slate. You can think of it like a fresh drawing board. We have Quebec in the house, Manchester, UK in the house. Where in the world are you? Leave a comment, let us know. I like to picture the globe in my mind's eye, the earth, from outer space. And I like to picture, when y'all comment where you're tuning in from, like a little light ping on the grid of the earth. And I just see the whole earth, the whole planet lighting up. Because that's what we do. We light it up. So again, new moon is a time for new beginning. This message will help us as we move through the cycle of this month ahead. Cottonwood, Arizona, Portugal in the house, Calgary, Alberta in the house. So good to see you guys. Yay, I've missed you. All right, we are shuffled. We all shuffled. So we're giving thanks in advance for this message that's about to come through. Thank me, thank you, thank we, thank one. We're thanking the archetypes, which are the building blocks of all of creation. So thank one and all. I'm going to begin with the tarot cards. Thank you for this message that's about to come through to help guide us forward with the most grace, the most ease, least amount of crisis, giving us the information that we need, which is already within, but really pulling it out of us and highlighting those main points so that we can let go of all the extra stuff, all the extraneous thoughts, and just focus on what is priority and what is important. Beginning with the current focus, also known as the challenge and gift. And what are we moving away from? feeling like before I do the other cards, there's one more that wants to come out, and it will be the foundation. Why are we moving through this current focus? Give us a little motivation, a little inspiration. What is the goal there? What is it all for? And then with the Hebrew cards, we're going to go ahead and pull the main ally, because they're all our allies. But the focus strength of the week is this. Okay. West Virginia in the house. Where in the world are you? Continue to let us know in the comments as we go. If you feel called, let us know where in the world you are so we could bring that energy in. All right, here we go. Woo! Starting off with the Major Arcanum card, as we so often do, we have the Emperor, also known as the Sovereign. It's Arcanum 4. It's the 4th card of the entire deck. Major Arcanum means major secrets. They're the more powerful cards in the deck. The Minor Arcanum are sort of an elaboration of the major cards. Just a little tarot tip. So we're starting off with the Emperor. If this is our current focus, or challenge and gift, we're receiving opportunities right now to strengthen this archetype that, of course, is already within us. What does this look like right now? It's a time for structure. It's a time to look at all that we have created so far. Look at everything we've worked so hard to manifest and ask ourselves, what is worth preserving? What is worth fighting for? And I don't mean like maybe, I don't know, in some cases, but what is worth giving our blood, sweat, and tears? What is worthy of our protection, our efforts in preservation? What is worthy of our attention, right? Because when we're giving something our awareness, we're giving it our energy, we're giving it our precious presence. What is worthy of that right now? What have we created that deserves our full awareness to make sure that that creation is sustained? Sustained. Sustainability is a key word here for the Mr. Emperor. And it's a masculine card, so it speaks to all of us because we all have the forces of polarity within us, right? So it's speaking to our active force. This card requires action. This frequency requires action. So what in our lives have we created that is worthy of our actions of protection and preservation? So it's important right now, especially at this time, but always, because these are timeless messages, but especially right now, it's a great time to look at what we've created and ask ourselves, what is worthy of, focusing on, preserving, protecting, sustaining, and what is not, so that we can recollect our energies to focus on that which is worthy of remaining in our lives. Because we really want to give it our all. And the best way to determine what is and what isn't worthy in the light of the Emperor is to ask, what are those things in our lives that we've manifested, which also includes like relationships, right? But projects, career, creative pursuits, everything, even your plants, like your garden, all things in your life, which includes people, all material situations in our lives. What is bringing the most life, light, and truth, not only to your life, but to our collective life? Those are the things that are truly worthy of our energy, of our actions to protect, sustain, and nurture those things. That's how you'll know that that thing in your life or that person or that situation is worthy of your energy, your presence, your attention, your actions of care. That's how you'll know that it's worthy, because it's bringing life to you and to the one, to the collective. It's bringing light into your world, into our world. It is a manifestation of truth, which is simultaneously then a manifestation of true beauty, because truth is beauty. See Tiferet in Kabbalistic terms, right? Life, light, truth, beauty, these are all one. These are all synonyms. So what in your life have you manifested that is bringing more of that into the world? What in your life is a real manifestation of light, of love, of truth? Those things are going to be worthy of your protection, of your actions. They should motivate you to move, to act, to be your best self, to put your best foot forward in their name. And remember that tarot is a sequence. So you always want to look to the cards before and after, right? So we have 3, 4, 5. So 3 is the Empress, also known as the unveiled Isis. She is the one that is pregnant with life, right? Like bringing things into creation. Then once those things are birthed through her, through you, who is you, that other part of you then takes over, that masculine part, and protects that which was born and sustains it. Okay, so this is like a little bit of archetypal information around these frequencies that are contained within all of us. So what have you birthed recently that is now needing your energy and attention and your action to preserve, protect, and grow those things? Yeah, really makes you think, right? So that's the current focus. And what that's going to look like in a practical way for us this week is looking at what things are like just taking up our energy, what things are maybe only bringing temporary satisfaction, temporary meaning, but in the end really does nothing for our world. You want to right now look at what you can give your energy to that's going to grow and that's going to really add to the light of this world. Again, not just your world, but our world. And if something was achieved in a way that wasn't fully honest or in any way that was not by path of absolute virtue, then you've got to understand that the manifestation is compromised in some way. Now, how can you be honest with yourself and look at how your manifestation may indeed be compromised by your cutting corners, by your dishonesty or your cheating or whatever it is? And how can you make that right? How can you fix it or let it go? Because if you can't fix it, repair it with honesty, with truth, with virtue, then it's not a sustainable creation. And you've got to know that. That's law. That's law, and there's no way around it. There's no escaping that. So how can you repair it with truth, right? I'm thinking of, I'm sure many of you guys know about this, the Japanese pottery that when it breaks, it's put back together, sealed with gold. And then it's made more valuable because of that. And it's the same thing with what we're discussing here. How can you repair what is inevitably going to break? Even if it's not broken right now, you've got to see it as broken because it wasn't achieved by virtue. So how can you be honest and consider whatever was achieved in an unrighteous way, consider it broken and repair it now before it literally physically breaks or crumbles. And if you're honest about that and you say, gosh, this thing is not even, it was never meant to be mine. It's not actually going to bring more light into this world. It's not actually an honest creation. Then it's time to let it go and reserve that energy for what is going to be an honest creation for not only your reality, but our shared reality. All right, so taking back our energy and then using it in a very active way toward protecting and nurturing those creations that are truly worthy in the name of not just the highest good of the self, but the one collective self. Why are we doing this? Ooh, Queen of Swords comes up. Look at this. We have a major arcanum and a court card hitting on those points, major points. Okay, why are we doing this? We're going through this process so that we can come back to sovereignty, so that we can stop relying on others to do what's right or do the thing. Stop waiting for someone else to save us and show us what is worthy of our energy, right? You probably have lots of people all the time telling you, this is a worthy pursuit, this is not. You should really do this and you shouldn't really do that. Whoa. We need to get back to the heart, first of all, which is what all the queens represent, is the heart. We need to get back to the heart, and from that space, declare our sovereignty, become sovereign in a way where we can make decisions on our own, from our own hearts. And not in a way where we have to try to eliminate all those people's opinions. They're always going to be there. Peanut gallery is always going to be yapping. But in a way where we're okay with that. In a way where our heart's song is so clear that that doesn't bother us. In fact, we have compassion for that. We understand why there are so many opinions. You might even say, I was there once too, where I felt I needed to impose and I needed to insert my opinion left and right. So you'll have compassion for that. But we're doing this, we're acting on what needs to be done so that we quit waiting around for other people to do it or tell us how it needs to be done. We're here to declare our sovereignty, come back to our heart, and be able to get through challenges in that way, to be able to get through challenges by way of the heart's guidance through the challenge. Okay, very clear, very clear. Another major arcanum card. Death, aka the Reaper, transformation, Arcanum 13. So all of the tarot cards we pulled today, all three, are really powerful energies, as you can see. So what are we moving away from? What has brought us to this moment? Death, transformation. We've been going through a big transformation, lots of change, a lot of it going on within. And now it's time to solidify this new self, ground into this new form and frequency with this ritual. I also want to point out that 13 reduces to 4, right? 1 plus 3 is 4. So the Emperor is actually a keynote of the Death card, and I'll tell you why. The Emperor, aka the Sovereign, is the form, right? We talked about birthing the thing, and then the Emperor is what gives it form, structure, a pattern to follow so that that creation is sustained. Death is a new form, right? Because death is only a new beginning. That's why water is the secret element of this card, right? So like in a lot of decks, the water won't even be on there. It's like the hidden element. So within death is rebirth. You always look to the opposite of what the card is showing to unlock the innermost secret of each of the cards. So 4 is form, where death is a rebirth of that form. So these are very much connected. So we're moving out of this transformative, watery, flowing space into a solid space. And the way that we're doing that, the way that we're locking this new self in, is through this ritual of letting go, of leaking our energy, putting our energy toward protecting or preserving things that are a reflection of our old self. And we're locking in the new self by giving that energy now only to those things that are a reflection of this newer self, who sees more of who the true self is. Because that's always what we're moving toward, is that next highest version of the self. Embodying more truth, more love, more light. All those things worth preserving. Okay, so we're moving out of this tumbling, turning, twisting, oh my God, where am I heading kind of an energy, into I know who I am. Who I truly am, who we truly are in the reflection of that one eternal light. And I'm solidifying this new form by choosing carefully what I act on, by really determining what is worthy of my actions right now, my actions of preservation, protection, and nurturing. Right? Because what we give our energy to is where our awareness, right? What we give our awareness to is what we give our energy to. What we focus on is what we become. So it makes sense. You can see that we'd be locking in that new pattern, that new frequency of who we are. And many of you may really relate to this, and please let us know in the comments, or feel free to say what is coming up for you in our private group, the Archetypal Alliance. Please share. Let us know, what has this transformation been for you? Because I can feel it right now, everybody that's present and watching. You're like, yeah, I've definitely been going through that tumbling, that turning, that who am I, where am I headed? The way to ground in and begin to have a clear reflection, right? Which also the Emperor represents self-reflection and self-realization. The way to begin to ground into that and be clear on who you are is by taking those actions in preserving, protecting, and nurturing what is a representation of actual truth and beauty. And we have the Hebrew letter ally of the week. Remember, it's going to be flipped because we're on a camera. You can Google this letter. It's the Hebrew letter Bet, B-E-T. Looks like this. And the hieroglyphic symbol for the Bet is a tent, a house, or a dwelling space. And whenever you want to know what the symbol represents, you always relate it to the divine. So it's a dwelling space for the divine, right? Which is the mind, is a dwelling space for the divine to enter. The body is a dwelling space for the divine to enter. Your house, your car, every place you enter. The world is a dwelling place for the divine, right? So think of like Tikkun Olam, for those of you who know about that. We're creating a space in the world for the divine to enter, for the divine to exist. So this is the ally of the week, and it goes perfectly with this because you see how we have form, form, 13, which reduces to a 4, a new form, death, rebirth, sovereignty within that form. So if we remember this concept of a dwelling space for the divine, that all things in this world are a dwelling space for the divine, then we remember our true purpose, what we are here to do, who we are here to be, what we are holding within us, what we have the potential to emanate from within us. Light. It's all always about the light. Every symbol, every message, it's all about the light. There's all that really is. It's the only thing that's real and the only thing that lasts forever. This is all smoke and mirrors. It's all a play of light. So when we remember that we're the vessel for that, we're the container for that, we understand. And when we know that all of life is vibration, reality is vibration, then we remember that through the crystallization of those vibrations comes the form. We can ask ourselves, what frequency am I holding? Which is then becoming a form. How should that structure be formed in a way that we can ensure the sustainability of all of our creations? Well, all of our creations, including all of our efforts made to create this body, to structure this body, right? Our choices in what we eat, what we consume, not just food, but like what we listen to, what we eat, what we say. All those things contribute to our frequency and form. That form should be based on truth. It should be built upon truth. All creations that are built upon the divine design or the divine pattern, paternal, divine father, however you want to look at that, those creations are then sustained because they're built upon natural law, universal law, sustainable truth, eternal truth, immortality. So how can we design all of our creations, including the never-ending creation of our body, right? Because every moment we make choices that contribute to the frequency of our being. Therefore, all of our choices in thought, speech, and action around our bodies and all of our creations from there should be built upon the divine design, which the emperor or the sovereign represents. And the bet is such a clear reminder of that, obviously. If all is a dwelling space for the divine, then it should be built upon the divine design, right? And like attracts like. So going even further into that, if the blueprint of our being or the design of our home or the foundation of our manifestations is built upon this divine design, it will be magnetic to divine energy, spiritual energy, immortal light. Because like attracts like. So if we want to attract that godly energy, that source energy, that pure light, then we must design our manifestations upon this frequency, this code. So for example, how do we reel that in and make it practical? If you want to attract that light into your body, your spirit into your body, then you need to make your body up of that light. So eating foods that are living, high frequency, wearing clothes that are high frequency. For example, there have been studies done, you can look this up, wearing toxic clothing, toxic chemicals, wearing polyester is like wearing a dead body, dead skin on yourself. It's literally lowering your frequency. Whereas organic cotton, for example, and there are many other materials, so I'm just giving 2 examples. Organic cotton has been shown to raise our frequency. So that right there is a great example of how our choices either lift us up or drag us down, contribute to our health and our immortality, or contribute to our death and decay. There is a way to continuously raise your frequency. There's an amazing book called The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. Amazing book on this topic if you're interested, on the topic of immortality. Okay, so every decision we make is either contributing to the preservation and continuation of the light through us, or it's not. It either is or it isn't. There's a Hebrew word for this. It's either lishma or lo lishma. It's good for the sake of the creator and the sake of the one, or it's not. It's one or the other. Okay, so the bet, and you might want to print this out, make it your phone background, put it where you're going to see in the morning or at night when you're going to sleep, the most powerful times where your brainwave states are putting you in the most receptive place. Or just meditate on it and imprint it within your mind. And it will help you to remember this powerful message that all is a dwelling place for the divine. And like attracts like. So we must create in a way where the foundation of all creations is reflective of this divine blueprint. It will magnetize divine energy in. So start with your body and your mind, and then move from there. Bet. Yeah. I love this because we have the 4 and another 4. 13, remember, is the evolution of the 4. These cards are very much connected. Form, new form, also known as the sovereign. And then we have the card of the sovereign heart at the bottom of this reading, the foundation of it all. We're doing this all so that we can become sovereign of the heart, so that we can get through any challenge from this place of the heart. That's what it's really all for, because there are always going to be challenges. That's why we're here, to overcome them, to reach new heights. Because in another dimension, we're already perfect. But we come here so that we can continue to transcend these little challenges we make up for ourselves, so that we can produce more light, multiply the light. Without these opportunities, we wouldn't have a way, a mechanism to multiply the light that we already are. That's the fun game, the whole reason why we're here. So remember, it's time to come out of this tumbling and confusion of who are we becoming and ground it in by taking action in ways that are preserving, protecting, and nurturing the best creations that we've so far created. Not just yourself, but we as a collective, right? So there's so much we can give our energy to that's already here without needing to create more. There are creations already here. What can you give your energy to in a way that's going to multiply the light? Bet, Hebrew letter bet. Imprint that in your mind and on your heart. You are a dwelling space for the divine. This world is a dwelling place for the divine. Let's remember that. And let's get back to work, y'all. After all, it's play. Chodesh Tov to everybody. Happy new moon, new month, new Hebrew month. It's the Hebrew month of Shevat. It's my birthday month. So yeah, it's all about Aquarius and Kabbalah. If you want to look into that, feel free to join our private groups. I did post in there today, and I will be posting more, or was it yesterday? And I'll be posting more about Shabbat and the Kabbalah of this month. So those private groups are Shabbat Crew, Shabbat Crew, or the Archetypal Alliance. And if you appreciated this message, or if my messages have touched you in the past and you want to give back in some way, you can totally donate to my Venmo, Rebecca-Magic, Rebecca-Magick. You can see my name here on Facebook. I also have PayPal, Cash App, all those things will be on my wall after this video. So if that's how you want to give back, it's so appreciated. Thank you for everybody who has been making donations. I see you. I so appreciate you. And I will be doing a book delivery this week, heading to the post office. So if you want to learn how to read tarot in the way that I do, I guarantee you, you will not find what's in my books in any other tarot book. I share my whole heart in these books. There's Royal Path 1 and Royal Path 2, one on the Major Arcanum, one on the Minor Arcanum. Please private message me if you want my books. Be happy to send them with a really special little custom bookmark. And I'm also, of course, available for readings. So if you have questions about a reading, please private message me or email me at info@royalpathtarot.com. Love you guys. See you next month. Peace.